I actually enjoy the freedom of waking up every single month and having the freedom of saying, you know what, I don't owe anybody. I just owe my mortgage.
Yeah.
I love getting into my car and I have no car note. I love going to the mailbox and excited to go to my mailbox because there may be a check in there,
No
not a
bill,
bill.
no bills.
You know, I don't know about you, but I remember every time my cell phone rang, if I didn't recognize the number, I didn't pick it up because those were collection agencies calling me.
Yeah.
It feels good when my phone rings. I can, hello, what's up?
Yeah,
You know,
right.
I'm proud to answer it. And so if we don't give people that proper information, 20-year-olds now tend to build this negative relationship with money, and they're not really building wealth.
Money saving tips for someone who's been out of their family home and living on their own since they were 17. So I live a completely debt-free lifestyle and I love it. Like, one thing I'm really confident about is like my money saving skills, like just ways to live debt-free, way to live life like lavishly while still living debt-free. Obviously when I was 17, I was working, I was couch hopping, and it taught me like a lot. When you're like in college, when I was between paying rent and like food at some points, like I remember physically having to go to like Amscot to get a cash advance. You realize like you have to make whatever money you have work for yourself. And the biggest things I found is just living within your means and finding things that make you happy and spending money on that, not just everything. I feel like especially when it comes to social media, people are living like these lavish lives and either A, they're doing great financially and good for them, or they're in so much debt. There's two different ways. And I feel like you need to decide what's important to you. Like, what do you want to spend your money on? For me, I love to spend my money on any type of travel or like experiences, but lavish. Like, I love a bougie dinner out. Like, I'm going on a trip, I'm only staying at a 5-star resort. Those are things that are important to me, okay? But there's other things that are not. Like, some people are snobby about where they get their groceries. I like to eat healthy. I don't care going to Walmart. I don't care going to Aldi's. Like, what about cooking in? Like, you will find me cooking in so much of my week, but then on the weekends, I'm going to spend $8 on a latte. Okay. When I'm working, I'm not going out to eat at lunch every day. There's just things that you realize that you're like, does this bring me joy? Is this financially worth the stress? And the answer is no, then cut it. There is so many beauty maintenance things I do. Like, I love feeling good. I love looking good. I do my own nails. Okay. I'm getting my nails done because it's my birthday this week, but 99% of the time I do my own nails. I dye my own hair. Like, my makeup, I sometimes use high quality products, other times I use drugstore. You just need to find what works for you. And I think there's so much power living debt free and living within your means versus just being like, oh, I got this new thing. Like, no, I would way rather live my happiness knowing I'm debt free is like, shoo. And then another thing is setting up an emergency fund. I have a high yield savings account, which I can go into another time, but I'm obsessed with it. I make money off of it and I don't touch that. I want something new. I'm not using this fund of emergency, my life savings. I'm not using that fund. I'm either A, gonna save up my money separately and buy it, or, ask for a gift, something like that. So yeah, that's one thing I'm super passionate about is money saving tips.
How do y'all have no debt? I need to know. There are days like today where I just want to go on a rant about debt. I have $40,000 worth of debt, and that does not include my student loans or my mortgage, because those are things that they get paid the mortgage gets paid all the time. Obviously, student loans, whenever they come back on, okay, whatever, I'll have to pay them. But I am talking about daily living expenses debt. How do you not have debt? Maybe you guys do and you're just not telling everybody, and that's perfectly fine. Do whatever is best for you. I don't normally tell people, but I've been sharing my recipes, and I'm doing a series on share my recipes to help pay down my debt, because how else am I going to do it? It's going to be a continuous cycle. I'm not spending money on getting my nails done, going buy new clothes, new shoes, new bags. No, I'm getting diapers. I'm getting wipes. I'm getting formula. I'm getting groceries, things that are a necessity for us to quite literally stay alive. I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks this or goes on rants about debt, but something's got to give. The economy's got to change. I can do some things on my part as far as maybe I can make more money. Hello, TikTok. That would be you. So, yeah. Happy Wednesday.
Here's what people don't talk about when it comes to paying off your debt and becoming debt-free. Hi, my husband and I paid off $120,000 of debt in less than 3 years. Previous to our debt-free journey, I was very naive when it came to money and was almost in denial about our debt situation. And I want to help others feel motivated either in their journey to become debt-free or in their journey just to become more financially fluent. When people give advice on how to pay off your debt, they usually just focus on controlling your expenses, buying less coffee, going out to eat less. And while that is important, the other lever that is very important is not just decreasing your spending, but is increasing your income. Changing your job to increase your salary, or looking at part-time jobs, part-time hustles, even like Rover or Uber to increase your income. Changing my job and increasing my salary was what accelerated us to reach our debt-free goal.
So excited. I am debt-free. Debt-free! All of this money that I'm using to clear my debt is all from Paper Letter. I haven't used a cent from my actual job. Come with me, guys, as I go to pay off all my debts. I'm paying the last little portion of my debt off today, and I'm taking you with me. I try to convince myself not to film today because I don't like the way I look, but we're not doing that anymore. We're making content regardless. I just look so eggy. I paid off the majority of my debt on Tuesday, and I just want to give you guys like a little pro tip. So I paid off my closed credit card with Capital One, and I had a Fairstone, what do you call it, loan that was ruining my fucking credit. And those two things were in collections, okay? I'm just gonna say it. I know it's embarrassing. Those went to collections. And I was able to pay and clear off the entire amount, including the interest that has accumulated over the years. And I did not know, if my friend didn't tell me this, I would have not have known that I could negotiate a settlement with them. I negotiated with them for a settlement of literally a fraction of the amount I owed. Okay, I was ready to give these people 12 grand. Okay. Also, if you've owed this amount for over 7 years in Ontario, it actually falls off of your credit report. So if you've owed something for 6 years or 5 years, like, it might be worth like waiting it out. And yeah, it'll ruin your credit, but eventually once it falls off of your credit report, then you're able to build your credit from there. But that only works if you're not making payments and you haven't actually like negotiated anything with the collection agency. Every time you answer the phone call, you say your name and you negotiate some type of payment plan with them, the 7 years restarts. So just keep that in mind. All of this money that I'm using to clear my debt is all from Paper Letter. I haven't used a cent from my actual job because it wasn't enough and I had to do something else, and I did. I took action and it worked. Can I get the turkey club sandwich?
Okay.
And that's everything.
That'll please.
Thank you. Coffee secured. Some good shit right here. We did it, guys. $3,294 paid off. I swear I want to frame this in my house. I'm so excited. I am debt-free. Debt-free!
Without crying. I'm a crier, okay? I can't help it. I, Lisbeth, am debt free. That's it. That's the news. I consider my debt-free journey to be almost 8 years long. I made the decision to become debt-free shortly after my daughter was born, and I found myself being a single mom. I made the decision because I wanted her to have financial stability, and I knew that if I got rid of my debt, that would get us pretty close to that. Those first few years were pretty much survival. I was working 2 jobs, making maybe about $40,000 a year. And I took that time to really focus on my budget, what was important, what wasn't, what I could cut back on, what was a non-negotiable. I learned a lot about myself and my priorities as I worked my way to earning more money. And so even though I didn't make a lot of progress during those first few years, I honestly don't even know between 2017 and 2020 what I paid off. A lot of it was probably interest on my student loans. I don't know exactly what my starting balance was in 2017. The earliest record I have of writing all my debt down and keeping it was that 2020 number of 114,000. But like I said, I consider the beginning of my debt-free journey to be in 2017. The main reason I want to point that out is because if you look at the 2020 number of 114,000, technically in 5 years, I paid off $114,000. Technically, in like 3 of those years, because 2 of those years I wasn't working full time. I stayed home with my daughters, and I was making a little bit of progress, but not as much as the other 3 years where I was working full time. And I'm sure there would be a lot more hype if I approached it that way, but this took me 8 years. From the moment I made the decision that I wanted to become debt free to the moment yesterday where I logged in and saw that I had made it. I'll have that video up next actually. It was 8 years. It wasn't linear. There were a lot of up and downs. There was a lot of starting and stopping, of making small progress, not big progress, of changing the method, but not the goal. A lot of growth happened in 8 years. The 3 years that it took me to get the biggest chunk of debt paid off did not define me as much as the other 5 years in that journey. I want you to know that it was much more than that. It was much longer than that. There was a lot of struggle in the process, but that I can tell you after 8 years that the struggle was worth it. So no matter how long you think paying off your debt is going to take you, make a plan, do your best to stick to that plan. But when things happen, when things change the plan. Don't change the goal, because the goal is worth it.